Pygmalion Effect. Effect is also called self-fulfilling prophecy. It's a clear mechanism to ability to modify or alter the reality that an individual possesses. It refers to the level or belief or expectations that others have about the rest. If I can be positive or negative, this influence. Therefore, this will be a crucial factor in determining the evolution or regression of an individual. This usually happens because the people completely ignore at the mental or energetic level how to manipulate they can be. Their vibration levels is normally low. Therefore, it's common for them to be surrounded by the grown people and probably be one of those who are seeing complain about everything on daily basis. This predisposes them to following this following situation. Every time this person tries to change habits, whatever dietary, physical, changing partners or jobs, they find that they always to end up failing on the attempt, no matter how much they pace. The result is always the same. In reality, it's their environment that's directly affecting them. Now, let's look at a positive case. A person who has a small group of friends with very good habits and manners. Those few cases you see a couple with both having common goal and are excellent people. Very healthy. Everything they undertake over time, they achieve, they maintains a good level of sustainability as the time passes, whether at work or economic level. They do nothing but grow, and if you observe the people they surround themselves with, is one will notice these people have an equal or higher level. In the first case, if you spoke with a friend of this person, they will not only speak not very well of them, but will tell about they are really non-capable, that they are the very limited person. They set many goals and do not realize that they cannot achieve them. This is a reality on this example. Likewise, on the second example, when you are asking their friends, they should say that is a couple, that scope, or one of them are very good people with great willpower and always end up achieving everything they set or to do. And if you ask about a big goal, the answer will be, I'm sure they are capable. At truth, we are talking about completely external factors, but I have a point in common. Everything, absolute everything is energy. Therefore, the person with their belief, limiting or not, their environment are composed for the same matter, and moreover, they are connected to great universal mind. What is this great universal mind? It's a big field or source where everything that exists, physically or not yet manifested, is contained, whether in form of ideas, thought, energies. That is to say, what's happened to the people is all within the same space, but vibration at different levels. Therefore, a negative person with negative friends or habits is constantly limiting themselves all the time. And although it sounds logical, this usually happens in most cases, where none of them understand why they do not move forward. On the contrary, positive people surround themselves with a group of their same level of vibration with healthy habits, and on the worst case they remain constant because they always grow, even just a little. The point in question here is not about the energy levels of the person I use with the example. The Pygmalion Effect is about their environment and the immense power of influence it has, whether positive or negative, over or an individual. At deeper levels, they believe as one of about another person is limiting them, even if you don't love, believe, or understand this mechanism. This happens because everything is connected to the same matrix field. It's the same way that if you think intensely about another person, this person may appear, send a message, or call you the next day. This is called telepathy. When someone tries to implement change in their life and we think positively or negatively are directly harming or helping them. Think for a moment about how many times in your life when a friend, a partner approach you for advice and you say things where are very realistic or negative ways, and how this person consequently worsened their situation. On the contrary, when you encourage someone positively, even a little, that person was improved. It has happened hundreds of times, and it will continue to happen through the same energy effects on the individual over another. Now, what happens if a person by themselves believe they are something they are not, or a person who at the mental and physical levels is not ready prepared joins to someone who is much higher levels and try to improve, try to receive from the others the belief that in that moment are not yet rooted, and try to improve. But that's improve. In the future, they will be able to achieve and love. This is real possible. Call something real and so magical and incomprehensible happens to a average person, where our ignorance, incompetence, and very limited only for example, start to being to surround themselves with the right people or even with just one people and completely change everything on their life better. That's answer to all is a renouncing yes. For those who are still in doubt, I leave a clear example on an experiment carried out in USA for two scientists, Rosenthal, Jacobson, and 1968. Teachers of the School of California have received two groups of students with different levels. One group consists of those are low grades, and the other group are those with higher performance. However, the school gave to the teachers the information reverse. That the one who have the high performance students was who told her the least capable, and the one have the low performance student was told that they brilliant, the most understanding students. Such is the effect and consistency of this mechanism that at the end of the school years, the teachers have no real idea of the actual levels of the student they were teaching. But since they received the information reverse, that results were conclusive according to that Sanchez expected. The teacher will receive the best group of students after being told they are not dedicated, begins to treat him of this way by believing them incapable and limited group. They only made them feel of that way. Therefore, this group grades worsened noticeably. On the other hand, the teacher who has the student with the lowest grade convinced they had the best group did nothing but believe in their learning ability, treating them in appropriate ways for that level, and that group of students raised their grades. Neither the teachers or the students know about were part of an experiment, but they help to demonstrate that the Pygmalion Effect exists, and it's in what is a powerful way, because you can see with yourself the more will you observe a single person negatively conditioned an entire group, and how another conditioning is completely a positive way. Analyze deeply how, even in these children, have their own level of relief, whether I'm very intelligent, I'm not intelligent enough, I don't like to study. The external influence ended to modify their belief during the period of the experiment. Now, if you paid close enough attention, you might know to be asking yourself, does that mean that my partner, my friends, my family, my environments are helping or limiting? This happens all the time. They do really have to control over me? Exactly. They are constantly influencing you. But big exception. Very high evolutionary and vibrational levels naturally repeal these mechanisms. Okay? Now you understand how it's work. Therefore, be very conscious about the people you choose in your environment, of your partner you decide with a company for all the rest of your life, or if a teacher or personal trainer, and even more important, of a personal doctor. Are these people really helping to you? Do they share your ideals? Do they believe in your possible environment improvements or evolution? For those who find themselves in situations where they are completely isolated or very lonely, if you don't have a group of people on your environment, that don't mean there is no one to can help them. On the contrary, my personal opinion, at a personal level, I consider this is a benefit in certain aspects, since there is no exists external limitation. Everything will depend on your inner level of preparation. For this reason, great philosophers, scientists, athletes, and entrepreneurs have achieved their best performance while being isolated from the rest of the society. Is like I say, without external noise or influence. But I warn, if at internal level you don't feel capable, you feel bad, and you are not cannot to achieve what you said how to do, always seek help from the outside, from the right people. Seek out through the simple function this mechanism. You will surpass and improve yourself because the Pygmalion Effect is out there, constantly operating. What will you do with it?